How did your unit's high standards apply to everyone except leadership? Our battalion commander was obsessed with physical fitness, made it his personal mission to ensure every soldier met the highest standards. Major Clifton Reed, 42 years old, built like a tank, ran 5 miles every morning before breakfast. The guy was legitimately impressive. He instituted new rules immediately after taking command. PT failures meant automatic counseling. 2 failures and you were flagged for promotion. 3 strikes and you faced separation proceedings. Excellence is not negotiable, he'd say during formations. We will be the fittest battalion in the division. Most of us respected it. Standards are standards. If you can't meet them, maybe the army isn't for you. The problem started with Captain Hugh Dalton, our company commander. Mid-30s, decent officer, but the guy was maybe 40 pounds overweight, struggled to finish the 2-mile run. He failed his PT test in March, then again in April. By May, everyone was wondering when Reed would enforce his own policy. Nothing happened. Dalton kept his position. No counseling statements, no flags, business as usual. Meanwhile, Private Ethan Knox failed his PT test for the 2nd time. Good soldier, worked hard, just struggled with running because of childhood asthma. Reed personally oversaw his separation paperwork. Standards apply to everyone, he told the formation. My buddy Vincent stood next to me. Everyone except Captain Dalton apparently, he muttered. The double standard got worse. Reed implemented a new haircut policy. Military regulation allowed hair up to 2 inches on top. Reed decided anything over 1 inch was unprofessional. Soldiers got written up for haircuts that technically met regulation. I watched Sergeant Lane Ferguson get a counseling statement for hair that was exactly 1.5 inches, well within Army standards, but violated Reed's arbitrary rule. Meanwhile, Captain Dalton walked around with a full beard. Not the neatly trimmed kind, a scraggly, unkempt mess that clearly violated grooming standards. When questioned, Reed said Dalton had a medical shaving profile. Maybe true, maybe not, but the optics were terrible. The breaking point came during a surprise inspection. Reed announced at morning formation that every barracks room would be inspected. Any deficiencies would result in loss of weekend privileges. My roommate Curtis and I spent 4 hours cleaning, scrubbed every surface, used Q-tips on the window tracks, made our beds with hospital corners so tight you could bounce quarters off them. Inspection came. Reed found dust on top of our door frame, 6 feet high, impossible to see without climbing on a chair. This is unacceptable, he said, writing notes on his clipboard. You're both restricted to base this weekend. Curtis was devastated. His sister was getting married on Saturday. He'd already bought plane tickets home. Sir, can I at least attend my sister's wedding? Curtis asked. Should have thought about that before you failed inspection, Reed replied. That afternoon, a few of us were walking past the officer's housing area. Captain Dalton's door was wide open. His quarters were visible from the sidewalk. Clothes piled on the floor, dishes stacked in the sink, bed unmade. The place looked like a disaster zone. Vincent pulled out his phone and took a picture. This is what leadership's room looks like while we're getting restricted for door frame dust. Word spread quickly. By evening, half the battalion knew about Dalton's living conditions. Next morning, Reed called an emergency formation. He looked angrier than I'd ever seen him. It has come to my attention that some soldiers have been spreading rumors about officer living standards. This is unacceptable. Anyone caught taking unauthorized photos of officer housing will face UCMJ action. Vincent raised his hand. Sir, are officers held to the same inspection standards as enlisted? Reed's face turned red. That's not your concern, specialist. With respect, sir, it is my concern. You restricted my roommate from his sister's wedding over dust on a door frame. Meanwhile, Captain Dalton's quarters violate every standard you've set for us. The silence was deafening. Reed stared at Vincent for a long moment. You're dismissed, specialist. Report to my office immediately after formation. Vincent got an Article 15. Lost rank and pay. All for asking a legitimate question. That's when things got interesting. Vincent requested a court-martial instead of accepting the Article 15. His right under military law. At the court-martial, Vincent's defense brought receipts, photos of officer housing, documentation of Reed's arbitrary policies, testimony from dozens of soldiers about the double standards. They proved that Reed's rules exceeded actual Army regulations. That enforcement was selective and unfair. That soldiers were being punished for infractions officers routinely committed. The panel acquitted Vincent of all charges. The presiding colonel actually commended him for having the courage to challenge unjust policies. Reed got relieved of command 2 weeks later. Investigation revealed he'd been protecting Dalton because they were old friends from their time at West Point. Dalton got transferred to a desk job, eventually medically retired due to his fitness failures. The new battalion commander was Lieutenant Colonel Adrian Shaw. First day, he gathered everyone for a formation. I've reviewed the policies of my predecessor. Many of them exceeded Army standards and were unfairly enforced. Effective immediately, we returned to actual regulatory guidance, not arbitrary rules, and standards will apply equally to everyone, regardless of rank. Curtis got his weekend pass retroactively approved, made it to his sister's wedding after all. Vincent got his rank restored with back pay. Shaw personally apologized to him during a private meeting. Last month, Vincent got promoted to sergeant. At the ceremony, Shaw said something I'll never forget. This soldier had the integrity to challenge injustice, even when it cost him everything. That's the kind of leader this Army needs. Reed works as a gym manager now. Still posts on social media about excellence and standards. Nobody who served under him ever comments on his posts.